Hitler's political career should have ended in 1923. He launched a revolution. It failed. People died. He was arrested. And he ended up in prison. That should have been the end. Yet within 10 years, Hitler was running Germany. The strange part? Germany handed him power itself. So how did that happen? Let's go back to 1919. In 1919, Hitler was working for the German army. One of his assignments was surprisingly simple: attend political meetings, listen carefully, and report back. Germany was filled with new political groups after World War I, and the military wanted to know what people were saying. One evening, Hitler was sent to observe a small organization called the German Workers' Party. The group was barely known outside Munich. Its membership was tiny, and meetings attracted only a handful of people. Nothing about it suggested power or influence. During the discussion, one speaker argued that Bavaria should break away from Germany. Hitler disagreed. He jumped into the debate and argued his case so aggressively that several people in the room took notice. Among them was one of the party's founders. After the meeting, he approached Hitler and handed him a pamphlet. A few days later, an invitation arrived. The party wanted him to join. At the time, it wasn't much of an offer. The German Workers' Party had fewer members than many local clubs. Most Germans had never heard its name. Yet within 14 years, it would be running the country. And Hitler had just taken his first step inside. At first, Hitler had very little influence inside the party. The organization was small, and nobody expected much from its newest members. But one thing quickly became clear. Whenever Hitler spoke, people listened. Crowds that ignored other speakers stayed to hear him. Some arrived out of curiosity. Many came back a second time. Germany was struggling after the war, and frustration was everywhere. People wanted answers. Hitler offered them. His speeches were emotional, simple, and easy to follow. Instead of discussing complex problems, he gave the audience someone to blame. The approach worked. Attendance started growing, and the party started growing too. As more people arrived, Hitler's position inside the organization became harder to ignore. Within a few years, he was the figure drawing people through the door. Eventually, control of the party shifted into his hands. The movement was growing, and Hitler was growing with it. By 1923, Hitler had become one of the best-known political speakers in Bavaria. The crowds were getting bigger, the party was gaining attention, and Hitler was becoming impatient. Winning elections looked slow. Building support took time. He wanted power now. At the same time, Germany was falling deeper into crisis. Prices were exploding. Savings disappeared almost overnight. Many people had lost faith in the government. Hitler saw an opportunity. In November 1923, he made his move. While local politicians were addressing a large gathering inside a Munich beer hall, Hitler arrived with armed supporters. He forced his way into the building. Then, he announced that a revolution had begun. The plan was ambitious: march through Munich, gather supporters, and take control of the government. Then repeat the process across Germany. For a few hours, it looked possible. By the next morning, everything was falling apart. Key allies backed away. Support never arrived in the numbers Hitler expected. Police blocked the march before it could reach the city center. Shots were fired. Several supporters and officers were killed. The attempted revolution collapsed almost immediately. Hitler escaped at first. After a few days, police found him and placed him under arrest. His gamble had failed. The Nazi Party was in trouble. Its leader was heading to prison. And for the second time in this story, it looked like Hitler's political career might be over. Hitler's failed revolution could have ended everything. Instead, it gave him something he had never had before: national attention. The trial became a stage. Newspapers covered it. People who had never heard of Hitler suddenly knew his name. Rather than deny what he had done, Hitler defended it. He argued that Germany's leaders had failed the country. Supporters admired him. Critics mocked him. But almost everyone was talking about him. The court sentenced Hitler to prison. Many expected the Nazi movement to disappear while he was gone. It didn't. During his time behind bars, Hitler spent months thinking about what had gone wrong. The failed revolution had taught him an important lesson. Taking power by force wasn't going to work. Around the same time, he began writing a book. He called it My Struggle. The book revealed his ideas, his ambitions, and the Germany he wanted to create. But more importantly, it revealed something else. Hitler wasn't giving up. He was planning. The next attempt would be different. Instead of fighting the system from the outside, he would use the system itself. Win votes and seats, then take control legally. When Hitler left prison, the strategy had changed. The goal had not. Hitler's new plan wasn't working at first. The Nazi Party remained small. Election results were disappointing. For several years, little changed. Then the world economy crashed. Jobs disappeared. Businesses shut their doors. Across Germany, millions of people were suddenly facing an uncertain future. People who had trusted the government became frustrated. Others became desperate. Political parties blamed each other. Arguments turned into street fights. The country felt stuck. Hitler offered certainty. He promised jobs, strength, and he promised that Germany could become powerful again. Whether people believed every promise didn't matter. More and more voters were willing to give him a chance. And every election brought the Nazi Party closer to power. By 1932, the Nazi Party had become the largest political party in Germany. But Hitler still wasn't in charge. Germany's president refused to give him full power. Many politicians believed they could control him. They were confident. They were wrong. In January 1933, Hitler was appointed Chancellor of Germany. Some leaders viewed the decision as a political compromise. Others thought he would fail quickly. Instead, Hitler moved faster than anyone expected. Within months, opponents were pushed aside. Political freedoms disappeared. Power became concentrated around a single man. The failed artist from 1919 had reached the top. And Germany would never be the same again. By 1933, Hitler had reached the top. Most people think that's the most important part of his story. It isn't. What happened after he took power is far more shocking. In the next video, we'll look at how Hitler transformed Germany into a dictatorship, and how the road to World War II truly began. Stay tuned, because the story is only getting started.